Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Margaret Opera. Here are some stories we are tracking. The National Association of Nigerian Students, Nans, has blocked roads leading to the Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. The mass action is in continuation of the protest against the ongoing industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Students will defy the heavy downpour, caused gridlock on the road leading to the airport, leaving many travelers stranded. Operated from the Lagos State Police Command, RRS operatives, Lagos Airport Police Command, and other security agencies were seen on the ground. The protesting students carried placards chanting Alutu songs to register their displeasure over the actions of the federal government. Details shortly. Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the African Union Congress, Omoyele SOWORE, on Monday joined Nigerian students in protest at the Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos. SOWORE, while at the protest, said it was important for the students to intensify their actions, saying, "This is your struggle." The students, who seemed happy to see SOWORE at their protest, cheered him. He urged drivers, traders, and well-meaning Nigerians to support the students' struggle. The students held banners bearing inscriptions such as "No nation can develop without genuine commitment to education," and "If you have money for election form, you can fund education." End of quote. Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo of the Ikeja Special Offences Court on Monday sentenced kidnapped kingpin Chukwudumeme Omadike, also known as Evans, and his co-defendant Victor Aduba to 21 years imprisonment for kidnapping one Silvanus Hafia. They were accused of conspiring and kidnapping Silvanus Aonu Hafia at about 5:30 p.m. on June 23, 2014 at Kara Street, Amuwo Odofin in Lagos, and were alleged to have captured and detained Hafia and demanded a ransom of $2 million. They pleaded not guilty to the 4 charges. The judge held that the sentence would serve as a deterrent to other aspiring kidnappers. Now, the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and the chairman, chief executive officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Muhammad Buwa Mara, retired, have described the rise in cases of drug abuse among youth in the country as a hydra-headed monster. Governor Obaseki and the NDLEA boss at a Say No to Drug lecture seminar in Benin City, the Edo State capital, organized by Betsy Obaseki Women Football Tournament, called for strict enforcement of existing laws and new legislations to tackle the menace. Governor Obaseki said drug abuse has reached a crisis level in the country, and the extent is almost becoming a pandemic. On his part, the NDLEA boss, represented by Otumba Lanwi, appreciated the thoughtfulness of the Edo State First Lady to have drug abuse as the theme of this year's tournament and work with relevant stakeholders to fight the menace of drug abuse.
We consider the seminar on drug abuse today as important as the march itself and the COP itself. That's the reason why we've gathered all of us here, especially school children, so we can talk to them about the prevalence of drug abuse and how to save their lives and make sure that they are not victims.
Which is a significant cause for UN Women and the United Nations generally, in Nigeria and globally. It is all important that we also tackle drug abuse, because drug abuse leads to gender-based violence, oftentimes against women and girls.
This hydra-headed problem of drug abuse presents itself in various forms with immense impacts on the sports industry and the larger society. Hence, it is very important and imperative for collective action to tackle this menace for the betterment of our society.
War against drug abuse is going to be at your ward, at the community level, at the local government level. Please find a space and let us join together in fighting this scourge. Most likely, the traditional ruler in the area will be the chairman. In the states, we have appealed to the governors to allow the governor's wife to chair the State Drug Control Committee, because we have seen the difference. Any home in which you allow women to play their role you always see a significant difference.
The Oyo State government today sealed off some houses and shops within Academy Market, Ibadan, over unhygienic practices. The Commissioner for Environment and National Resources, Mr. Abiodun Oni, said residents and owners of the shop violated environmental laws and failed to comply with the laid down hygienic practices. Speaking through the Special Advisor on Environment, Engineer Ademola Adewinto, the Commissioner said that the buildings were sealed off during the ongoing sensitization and enforcement campaign of the state government to commemorate this year's World Clean Day. He said the exercise was done to ensure total compliance with environmental hygiene and prevent a possible outbreak of any disease, pointing out that environmental health officers had earlier visited the affected buildings and told the owners not to do the needful, but they failed to do so. The Commissioner who said the affected buildings are responsible for heaps of waste dumped in the marketplace and along the main roads, added that they do not have adequate waste bins for their waste. Also, as part of activities marking the CS World Cleanup Day, the Oyo State Government and Motania Recycling Limited recovered 5,170 kilograms of plastic waste in the cleanup activities carried out at academic community markets in Ibadan. The team also recovered 1,100 kilograms of cartons from the market. According to Adewinto, the exercise, which was carried out in conjunction with Waste Management Authority of the state, Montania Recycling Limited, was also used to sensitize and educate market women on how a waste-free environment can foster better customer relations and increase sales. Away from that, the ongoing screening of the contestants for the stool of ALAAFIN of Oyo have suffered a major setback with the demise of the Kingmaker and a member of the Traditional Council, Oyomesi High Chief Abdul Rashid Shehu. Authorities of Oyo State's East Local Government had in statement confirmed the passage of Oyo High Chief in early hours of Sunday. It was learned that the ALAPINNI of OYOLAND died on Sunday in the early hours after battling an undisclosed sickness. His passage is coming amid the tussle in the race for the ALAAFIN of Oyo stool. Findings revealed that ALAPINNI had been absent at the ongoing screening and interview of the aspirants vying for the stool of ALAAFIN of Oyo, and this was said to have been due to his ill health. His absence had, however, generated concerns. And now on the African scene, the heads of state of Ethiopia and Ghana paid tribute to the British monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, on Sunday as they signed her book of condolences at the Lancaster House in London. Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo said the Queen had overseen dramatic transformation of the Commonwealth into global force for good during her 70-year reign. Ethiopia President SOWORE said Elizabeth had been a towering woman leader who would be remembered for her public service. And dignitaries from across the world have traveled to the UK, capital head of the Queen's state funeral today. Ghana had declared the end of a Marburg virus outbreak, a highly infectious disease similar to Ebola that was confirmed in July, the president's office said on Monday. Ghana's Marburg outbreak was the second in West Africa. The first ever case of the virus was detected this last year in Guinea, with no further cases identified. And 2 people who died in Ghana tested positive for Marburg at the start of July, after which the West African country's government confirmed its first outbreak of the disease on July 17. 2 more cases were confirmed around 10 days later, one of which died at the start of August, bringing to the total number of fatalities to 3. There have been a dozen major Marburg outbreaks since 1967, mostly in southern and eastern Africa. Fatality rates have varied from 24% to 88% in past outbreaks, depending on the virus strain and case management, according to the World Health Organization. And on the foreign scene, King Charles, his sons William and Harry, and other senior royals joined a solemn procession behind Queen Elizabeth's coffin through the silent streets of London on Monday, following a state's funeral of matchless pageantry at Westminster Abbey. Hundreds of thousands of people crammed into central London to witness a ceremony attended by leaders and royalty from across the globe. A fitting end for Britain's longest-serving monarch, who won widespread respect during 70 years on the throne. Her flag-draped casket was pulled on a gun carriage the short distance from Westminster Hall to the Abbey by 142 sailors with armed length. A bell tolled the bagpipes killed. The 2,000-strong congregation included some 500 presidents, prime ministers, foreign royal families, and dignitaries, including Joe Biden of the United States and leaders from France, Canada, Australia, China, Pakistan, and the Cook Islands. Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury, told the congregation that the grief felt by so many across Britain and the wider world reflected the late monarch's abundant life and loving service.